I honestly think one of the saddest things in modern gay dating is how many people seem terrified of actual emotional connection. People will talk to you every single day, they'll flirt with you, they'll compliment you, and they'll even sleep with you. But the second feelings become involved, they disappear. And after years of using dating apps and speaking to several different people, I've started noticing the exact patterns over and over again. Welcome to Gay Talk. Yes! So this video is based purely on my own experiences. I've been on dating apps now for about 7 years and I've had some fantastic experiences and I've had some not so fantastic experiences. So I think when it comes to talking about dating apps and my opinion on them, I'm quite clued up. So by creating this video, I am not coming after anyone, I'm not attacking anyone. If you prefer hookups over, dates or whatnot, that's you. So please no one take offense to this video. This, again, is just my personal thoughts. I think dating apps and social media as a whole hugely influence the way that people get into relationships and the way that people date in this day and age. A lot of the older generation will tell you stories about when they were young, they could just walk into a restaurant or a bar, sit down next to a guy, get to know them for them, not judge them on their looks, not judge them on what they want to do in the bedroom, just sit down, talk to them, and if the chemistry worked, they would work from there. And in my opinion, I think that's a bit risky. You can maybe go up to a straight guy, mistake him for being gay, try and get to know him, and then risk getting punched in the face. But in this day and age with social media apps, I feel that risk is eliminated. And you know that when you're on those apps, you can sit, you can talk to people, you know that they're gay, and there's not a risk of getting punched or making an absolute fool out of yourself. But then I also feel that because you now have these apps and all these social media platforms, you become emotionally unavailable to a singular guy, and you more get in that mood of just a hook up and go without commitment. Some people want a boyfriend until you start acting like one. Dating apps have created infinite options for people now. When people scroll through Tinder, Grindr, whatever app you're on, they're swiping, swiping, swiping. And when they're swiping, they seem to think that a model is going to appear somewhere, their dream man, and they're not invested in getting to know absolutely anyone because in the back of their head, they're always thinking, I'm one swipe away from meeting Tom Daly. Now, because they're not showing you investment, you then start thinking to yourself, why are they not messaging me much? Why are they not trying to get to know me? I thought they wanted something more out of this. And the only time that they actually message you is when they want a hookup. And in your head, you start thinking to yourself, well, tell you what, if they're not going to show me investment in this, I'm not going to show them that investment back. And that's why you'll probably just hook up, you'll go back home, and if you're lucky, you'll be friends with benefits because they're still looking for that model to come along. And because they're showing you that lack of investment as well, you naturally start feeling like the chat is disposable and that at any moment in time, the guy could just block you and that is it done. There's nothing you can do. So then you don't want to start talking to them to get to know them. You don't want to start developing feelings. You don't want to start developing that attachment because at the end of the day, no one wants heartbreak and no one wants to be led on. But then there's some of us that just simply don't take the hint. We don't take the hint that the guy's clearly not invested in us or whatnot, and we still message him, hoping and praying that something's going to come out of it. And what does that lead to? It leads to ghosting. Ghosting seems to be becoming more normalized than it ever has been. You message a guy, you're trying to get to know them, they blank you, they ghost you. But then when they want a hookup or sex, they expect you to message them straight back. It's a mind-boggling, repeated cycle. Sometimes we can message guys for weeks, trying to get to know them because we've ignored the hint that they're not interested in us. We've invested that much time getting to know them, thinking that something's going to come out of it, only for the chat to vanish and they've blocked you. But it's not always your fault. Sometimes these guys will act obsessed with you, they'll lead you on, and then they'll block you anyway. So it's not always not you being able to take the hint. Sometimes it's their fault because they're leading you on, holding you back as a rebound. Validation versus connection. Some people on these dating apps genuinely just do not want a relationship. They're on these apps for validation and attention. They're fishing for compliments. They want you to feed their ego. They want you to tell them how good they look, how hot they are, how slim they are, the things that you would do to them. All these different things, they're just fishing for that compliment. They want the attention that you provide them. They want to know that someone's willing to spend hours of their time talking to them, asking how their day is. And 9 out of 10 times, they'll message you back saying, I've had such a bad day today. It's been a really bad day. And they'll use you to make them feel better. And as soon as you've made them feel better, block. You didn't exist, darling, okay? You did not exist. How does my bum look in these jeans? And on the social media side of things, guys look for guys that have got validation on social media. They'll look at how many likes you've got on a Facebook post. They'll look at how many shares you've got, how many followers you've got, and that determines whether or not that guy is going to talk to you. Basically, clout chasing. Not every guy does this, by the way, just some guys. So don't be thinking I'm coming for you all. I'm not. I'm part of the LGBT community. I don't go for those things. There'll be a majority of you guys that don't go for those things, but there is a big majority that do go for those things. Fear of vulnerability is another point, guys. A lot of people are too scared to emotionally open up and find it easier just to have a hookup. If you tell guys about your emotions or how you're feeling or things that have gone wrong recently, it turns guys off in this day and age, and it should not be that way, but it's a fact. It does. Commitment means responsibility. A lot of guys just simply do not want to commit to someone. They don't want to commit to messaging them all the time, asking how they are, meeting them, going on dates with them. They just feel like that will interrupt their daily schedule. And a lot of guys, it's just easier to have the hookup and go, hook up and go. Because when you're young, you can do that. It's a bit like playing past the parcel. Here I am, here I am. Who wants me now? As soon as things get serious in a conversation, after you've spent days and days and days talking sexually, planning what you're going to do on a hookup, the guys just realize, this guy's been serious. What can I do to not worry about this anymore? Block. Social media and appearance pressure. A lot of guys these days will go on Grindr, Tinder, whatever app they use, and they'll look at everyone on the grid and they'll compare themselves to them. What can I do to attract guys? Oh, this guy's going to the gym. This guy's flexing, showing off these guns, in his profile picture. I want to be like him. I'm going to go hit the gym. I'm going to do all these reps. I'm going to look big and muscly. And hopefully a guy's going to come and he's going to want to date me. Why change yourself for someone? It's becoming like a normal part of dating now where you have to compare yourself and change yourself in order to find a man. It's like you have to have unrealistic beauty standards. If you have a spot on your face, why do we all run now to the chemist to get some cream to put on our spot on our face so then we have a perfectly smooth face to impress a guy? Why are we at that stage where we have to do that? Our bodies are beautiful the way they are. We shouldn't have to start doing all this to make ourselves look perfect. We shouldn't have to go and get surgeries on our body to make ourselves look great enough to have a guy. Stop doing stuff like that. If a guy doesn't love you for the way you are, then let him stroll on by because there'll be someone out there for you. I'm still single. I think I'm stunning and I think my guy will be here one day, but he's not. I think the lack of relationships is just because guys keep chasing pure perfection. They think that models are just going to fall in love with them if they hit the gym. They think models are going to fall in love with them if they've got a super smooth face. And it's never going to happen. Why are looks such an important factor when you date someone? Yes, I'm not asking you to go and date Mrs. Trunchbull from Matilda, but why don't you start to get to know people for maybe them and their person? Because deep down, they have feelings too. So yes, some people don't want a boyfriend. They just want a boyfriend that looks good in Instagram stories. Healthy. So once I've reflected on everything I've said, and after I reflect on 7 years on dating apps, I can truly say that being on dating apps has affected my confidence in so many ways. When I was first on dating apps, I felt confident, I felt cute, I felt like a twink, I felt like guys would do anything to get with me. And I didn't use that as an ego. I just used that as, do you know what? I'll find the right guy eventually. I don't need to rush into things because all these guys are interested in me. And as time's gone on these dating apps, especially my city, I'm not getting attention. And half the time, I'm just getting blocked or ghosted. And it just makes me feel like I am ugly, I am fat, I am not worthy of a guy. So truthfully, it has affected my confidence so much. Like this right here. I was never aware of that. I've had that my whole life, right? I was never aware of this little double chin or skin underneath my chin, which I call a double chin. But now I'm very self-conscious about this as I feel I now look chubby. I overthink rejection really badly. If 5 or 6 guys in a single day reject me, I start thinking, is my banter dry? Can I hold a conversation? Am I really that bad looking? Am I fat? Am I chubby? Does this guy think that I'm going to be bad at doing the deed? Am I too small? all these different things run through my head, and it makes me think, am I ever actually going to find a guy, or is this just what I'm set up for now? Because like I say, the city I'm at, it's dry on these dating apps. I guess I just strive for a deeper connection with a guy. I want a guy that I can talk to all the time. I want a guy that I could take out on nice dates. I want a guy that I could start traveling the world with, exploring places, creating memories, because I've realized that life is too short. That's all I want in life, but it just seems unreachable. So yeah, I've realized that not every guy is emotionally mature. If guys can just sit there and block you or reject you and have no regard for your feelings, they're not emotionally mature. And it hurts. It does hurt. But the thing to keep in your head is there's someone out there for us all. And I used to think that wasn't true, but if you think about how big the world is and how far you could travel, then it kind of becomes a bit more of a realistic expectation that Mr. Right might walk into your life one day. So yeah, I started realizing that someone not choosing you doesn't automatically mean that there's something wrong with you. So a message I want all of you to take away from this video is, do not change who you are. Don't try and make yourself look like somebody that you're not, right? If you have a spot on your face, don't be rushing to the chemist to get pseudo creme to put on it to stop it from showing, right? Don't be sitting there spending hours on your hair to make yourself look like a model. Because when you wake up the next morning and you're at your worst, is that guy then going to look at you differently? Stop changing who you are, right? A guy that loves you will love you for the way that you are. You don't have to go to the gym and build muscles and look like the Incredible Hulk. You don't have to be super slim and look like Slender Man. You need to enjoy your life, right? Life is not just about relationships and hookups. There's so much more to life. Travel, make memories with your friends. If a relationship doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Well, at least that's the mindset I'm in anyway. The moment a guy starts ghosting you or making silly excuses saying that he can't message you because of this, that, and the next thing, and he's saying that he wants to date you or whatnot, red flag, block him. Look at the story I did yesterday at the time of recording this. I'll put it up here, right? I'll put it right here. I blocked a guy that I'd been speaking to for 3 years because anytime he wanted anything, he expected me to respond straight away. When I told him something I liked, he eventually started ghosting me. Happened so many times. I practice what I preach, right? So see if a guy does that to you, block him instantly because you will feel amazing. I have no regrets. I think the saddest part is a lot of people do actually want love. They're just terrified what comes with it. And eventually you realize you can't force emotional maturity out of someone who only wanted temporary attention. If you guys like hookups, continue to do hookups. I love hookups and I'm not even ashamed to admit that. But if you're looking for a relationship and you're serious about looking for a relationship and you don't want hookups, have respect for yourself and just don't do it. Wait for Mr. Right to come or get yourself out there more and go and find your partner. I'm going to come out my shell a lot this year and next year. I do suffer a bit of social anxiety, but I'm going to push myself to start going back to gay clubs, to start going out with gay friends, and hopefully I will meet Mr. Right that way. Do you guys agree with my points in this video of why it feels like some gay guys don't want relationships? If you do, comment below and comment any advice you have for fellow LGBT members in the comment sections below. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and like, because it does help the video go out to more LGBT people and hopefully this will help them. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one.